Hello, welcome to Made to Heal with Angela Brown. Before I get into my topic of a great gift that we can give to our spouse? What's the best gift we can put into our marriage? Um, just something that I have appreciated and that I do and my husband does. I will get into that here in a sec, but before I do, I invite you to check out the link to my book called You Are Made to Heal Spiritually, Emotionally, Mentally, and Physically. It is just my journey of being stuck for 30 plus years and learning how to heal from that. I have gone 10 years from the fall of 2015 without depression or suicidal thoughts for 10 years without that stuff. And it's been such a miracle for me, truly. And I just have out of the box ideas that have come to me, things that I didn't know about, that I have implemented into my routine, my daily routine. And I don't do everything every day because that's impossible, but I do a lot of things in the self-care areas, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. Every day I take care of myself on all of those levels to help me feel more rounded and balanced. And so it's just my journey of how I've suffered from all sorts of things: anger, childhood trauma, resentment, shame, guilt, all the stuff that I didn't know how to deal with. And I just share my journey in healing. And I'm not done healing. I'm on my journey and I'm not perfect and I don't have all the answers, but it's not a one and done. It's a continuation. It's day in and day out of being on this healing journey, and it's been beautiful. So check that out. This book was written when I wrote this book thinking of all adults, male, female, all teens, boy, girl, teens, for everyone. And maybe you don't deal with depression or suicidal thoughts or whatever. This book is still great for you in so many other ways because it helps, and it will help you with ideas to help others around you as well. So just check it out. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the greatest gift we can give our spouse. The greatest gift we can give to our marriage is working on ourselves. Working on ourselves spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. You know, I am so, so grateful. My marriage wasn't the easiest marriage at the beginning. And it wasn't, I'm going on, I'm going on 29 years. Haven't quite hit that 29-year mark yet. But I've known my husband for almost 29 years. And we have had a lot of hard, right? It's been really hard. And I've learned a lot of things about myself because I was trying to change my husband, trying to, if a problem came up, it was because of him, that kind of a thing. And it was toxic. It was really bad. But I had no idea. When I hit rock bottom and I surrendered to God and I let God lead me, I had no idea the truths and the amazing things that I would learn in the process. But working on ourselves helps bring others along with us without us wanting to bring others along, if that makes sense. Like, of course, we want to raise other people up around us, but not with the intention. Changing ourselves within because we are humbling ourselves before God and going, you know what, God, show me how to be more patient. Show me how to be more selfless in my marriage, or more kind, and just show me how. And, or let me know when I'm not doing what is in line with thy will. God will show you. When you ask, you will receive. It's just beautiful. But, when I started working on myself, it took 3.5 years before my husband's like, oh, wow, you used to be angry all the time and you're not that person anymore. I want to learn what you're learning. Help me. And it's been a beautiful journey from there on out, because my husband and I have been on a healing, growing journey together. We're not on the same level, and God hasn't intended us to be on the same level. He has you at where you're at because you're perfect where you're at right now, learning the life lessons that you're learning. and we're learning different things than our spouse is. And you know, we're at different levels. My husband's higher in some areas than I am. I'm higher in some areas than he is. And it's so that we can complement each other and help each other in our growing phases and stuff. So I just had a lot of gratitude because my husband today, I've been dealing with some back issues the last, few weeks, month, and my husband has been so supportive. He couldn't have showed up for me 20 years ago like he is now because he didn't know. He didn't know how, right? But he is constantly working on himself, improving himself spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. And I am doing the same thing. And when we are working on ourselves, a lot of people are like, well, that's you, that's selfish. No, the most selfless thing you can do is self-care. Take care of yourself. Fill your bucket. It's not your spouse's job. It's not your wife or your husband's job to make you happy. That is an inside job. That is your job. So what are you doing to create that within? Are you connecting with God? Are you doing the spiritual growth? Are you releasing emotions that don't need to be there? Or are you going through those emotions, allowing yourself to feel the emotions? Are you mentally challenging yourself? Are you physically, trying to get your body in a physical state of being to where you are taking care of yourself physically now so that you can enjoy your years later in your 80s, 90s, 70s with your partner, with your spouse? It's so important to invest in ourselves. Self-care is investing. It's putting that investment in the bank, so to speak. And when we put in the self-care now, later is when we see the fruits of our labor. And not only do we see it, but our spouse sees it, and our spouse will appreciate. That's the best gift you can give your spouse, is to take care of yourself spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically, because then they won't have to. Let them worry about them and you worry about you. But be on your God journey together, learning spiritually together. Be on your emotional journey together. Share your emotions with each other. Be vulnerable with each other. Like, ask each other, where are you at? How are you feeling? How do I make you feel? What areas can I work on to help you feel better? Like, because we play on our spouse's emotions, right? Like sometimes, I make my husband feel bad. There's things that I do or say and he feels bad. And so it's like, okay, tell me, sometimes slow learner here, but it's important to have the line of communication open. And just, you can work on emotions together. You can work on learning things together mentally, and you can work on the physical part. Some people like to go to the gym together. My husband and I have never gone to the gym. We go for walks, or he does his rowing machine. I do my mini trampoline, and we do different things sometimes, and that's okay. We build each other up, being who we are, living into your truth. And although we can do a lot of this stuff together, growing in God and emotionally and mentally and physically, it's so important not to lose yourself in your marriage. It's important to develop your likes and interests. It's important to allow yourself to grow I'm saying the word wrong, but individually. It's best for you to grow as an individual and then add that to your marriage. Don't ever lose yourself in a marriage. I've seen it happen several times. I see it. And it's like, we must not lose ourselves. Don't live for your spouse. You've got to live for God first and foremost, and step into that mission and purpose that God set you to do. And then be that individual and follow your dreams, follow your hopes, and follow that seed that's been planted in your heart and your soul, and that God had put in from the beginning, that's part of your mission and purpose, and develop it. Develop your talents. You're not going to have the same talents as your spouse. And so it's important to develop you as an individual person, and whatever your interests are in art or or activities to do. Like, do not lose yourself and forget the stuff that you really love because your spouse doesn't quite like it and you want to like be more, spend more time with your spouse. It's okay to have that time alone and separate yourself and not lose yourself. Do not ever lose yourself for anybody. God wants us to know exactly who we are. We are God, and to know God is to know ourselves, really learning who we are and our likes and interests, and is so important. That's the biggest gift we can give our spouse, is living into our authentic self and being our true self, and learning like who we are as an individual and bringing that to the table and sharing with our spouse. Hey, this is something that I was really interested in, and this is what I learned. Do you want to hear it? And and sometimes I've got that projector personality. I have to remind myself to ask my husband instead of, hey, guess what I learned? This is so cool, blah, blah, blah. And then dumping it on him when he was like, yeah, I didn't care about learning that, but whatever. But so if you have that strong, bold personality, maybe instead of dumping it on other people, just like, hey, would you like to hear what I learned today? Or, send that invitation. And so that's something I have to remind myself, because I can be kind of strong that way. But do not lose yourself. Take care of yourself. Self-care is the greatest gift you can give in your marriage, because it just brings you up, raises your energy and vibrations. And when your energy and vibrations are rose up, it brings others around you. It brings their energy up just naturally. It just does. So it's a gift. It's a gift that we give our spouse and our families, is to really work on ourselves and help ourselves grow. But it takes a lot of work, and it takes submitting our will to God and Christ's, becoming more like our Savior, and really asking them to show us our weaknesses, and to walk with them and know. And it's a beautiful journey. So that's just what I wanted to share. I was just really reflecting on my gratitude of my marriage, and I am grateful for all the things that I have learned being married all this time. I wanted to throw the towel in several times, and I felt bad. My husband never told me he wanted to throw the towel in. It was me, and I just really, really feel bad about that. But hindsight, I look back, and yes, I know I brought up the divorce word, and that was fine with me. But I am so glad I stuck through it, because I wouldn't have been able to learn and grow in my marriage like I have the last 10 years. I am so grateful for taking the good, bad, and ugly, and learning and growing, and continuing to grow. And it just gets better and better. And I had no idea that my marriage would just get better and better. But when we work on ourselves spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically, our relationships around us get better and better. And it invites others, when they see your actions and they see you working on yourself, it invites others around you to do the same. And it's not you just dragging them and pulling them in like, come on, do this. No, it's giving them their agency and their free will. But it's they see where you're at, and they want to be there, and it's great. This is how we lift each other up. And woman, they're not meant to be alone. We are meant to have a life partner, an eternal partner, someone that we can take with into the eternities and just learn and love and grow together. So that is just something that I am very grateful for. And just know, when you invest in you, you are investing in your marriage. And that is putting in love to your spouse. And God bless. Please like and subscribe to this channel, and share it with others. And until next time, bye.